So back in like early 2000s, 2003, 2004, something like that, or maybe even a little bit later than that, found myself homeless for about 4 months. How that ended up happening was some colossal mistakes on my part. um, uh, eh, the bottom common denominator was drugs. You know, I mean, I always experimented with drugs, but not hard drugs like cocaine, methamphetamine, pills, stuff like that. You know, I was more just like, you know, psychedelics always, but weed, if you consider that a drug, alcohol, but even alcohol though, just like, you know, kind of like not a, wasn't a big drinker either. Well, that all changed when I started working at this restaurant. And this restaurant was like 80% of the people there did cocaine, right? Everybody did coke. And it was like, I had tried what I thought was cocaine when I was in high school. And maybe it was, but I don't think it was. So I didn't really understand the fascination with cocaine because I thought I tried it. And I was like, meh, didn't really do much for me. Well, working in this restaurant, which is primarily Hispanics, in Phoenix, Arizona, fucking, it was like when they busted out a line of cocaine, I was just like, ah, shit, I'll try it, whatever, right? I did a line, and I was like, oh my God, this is like the coolest shit, right? And, you know, I tried real cocaine, right? And probably some that was actually probably better than most because it was straight from the Mexicans and not, you know, didn't get stepped on down the line. By the time you get it from the white guy at the club, it's been stepped on a couple of times. So yeah, wow, blew my door off, right? And being a server and a bartender there, it was like I was making money every night, right? Tips every night. Bam, 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 bam. Even on a bad night, I was making $100 in tips, right? This is, you know, 20 years ago, but whatever. And you know, it was like, it was just too easy. It was too easy to roll in there, you know, drop, you know, we had this joke where it was like, you know, I spend 20 bucks getting high and, you know, 40 bucks getting, or I'm sorry, 20 bucks getting drunk and 40 bucks getting sober, meaning that you go to the bar, you get 20 bucks in, you know, drinks and you're kind of drunk, and then once you get drunk, everybody wants Coke, right? That's just like the thing, right? I don't know why, but whenever you're drinking, if you've done cocaine before and you drink, whenever you drink now, you're gonna want cocaine. I mean, that'll go away eventually, but that sticks with you. It's kind of like an itch. And anyway, so yeah, I just developed a big cocaine habit, right? And that became fucking, you know, basically it became all cumbersome to my life, right? It was like I had to have it every day. You know, if I woke up and I didn't have some, I was in a bad mood, right? And, you know, at the end of the night, if I didn't have some, I was in a bad mood. And it was just like, it was an addiction, right? And it was an addiction. And, you know, and to cut to the chase, you know, when the cocaine ran out, then it was like kind of the same thing. Like, the cocaine ran out eventually, like my connection source disappeared. Well, one thing that was always around and that I never really fucked with either was meth, right? And it was like, once again, I had tried it once or twice before, but either it wasn't very good or I didn't do it the right way. I don't know, whatever the reason, I wasn't impressed. Like, tried it once or twice, like in high school again. And for some reason, I didn't really care for it or whatever. So I tried it again because there's no cocaine, and I was just like, wow, because this was like meth, like back in the early 2000s, like right before they started really changing the chemicals. So it was still like really, compared to today's shit, like way better. And anyway, yeah, and then that became a problem too. And then it was like, next thing you know, lost my job, lost everything, you know, lost my fiance, 9 years, you know, like everything just fucking fell apart. And it was like, it was the weirdest thing though, because it was like so long as I was able to, so long as I could get meth, as long as I was high, or cocaine, but towards the end it was meth. And it was just because there was no cocaine, and meth was considerably cheaper, right? So it also became a point where I didn't have any money. So, you know, you could hustle, and 20 bucks of meth will, you know, decent meth will last you for days, whereas 20 bucks of cocaine will last you for an hour or two, a couple hours, right? You know, maybe several, but you know, whatever. So it was like, anyway, yeah, it fucked my shit up. And thankfully, how I ended up surviving though was, well, I lost everything. So I basically came down to like, you know, I had like 2 or 3 cars, you know, ended up losing all of them, slept in one of them for a while until that one got towed, you know, and it was like, basically had like a backpack and like a big ass suitcase that I, you know, pulled around. And I was really resourceful though, you know. It's like I had a lot of friends, which helps, right? I was resourceful, working in the restaurant business. I always ate for free. Like, I always go back to the restaurants that I did work at and just like go to the back door and just like fucking, hey, what's up? And like fucking bam, food would be right out the door, whatever they fucked up, whatever, they always put something on the side for people. And, I always go and grab it if I wanted to, of course you got food stamps and all that bullshit. But, as far as where I slept, when I say homeless, I didn't look homeless. I pretty much look like I do now. I mean, it's like, I tried not to look homeless. I would sleep. I didn't sleep outside, which is part of the reason why I didn't look homeless. Because if you're sleeping outside and you're camping, you get dirty, right? Well, I knew a little secret. I could go to Sky Harbor Airport. You take the last bus at 1 o'clock in the morning, drops you off at the airport, right? You tie these like baggage claim stickers, or not stickers, but little tags, right? Because there's nobody at the check-in, right? On the curb, right? So, but there's little baskets full of those fucking tag things. So I just grab one, United Airlines, tie it on my bag, Delta, and I just roll in there. I never went through security. I would just stay on the other side of, the security and chill. You look like, because there's people that miss their flights, or people that are waiting early, people are now just starting to show up for their early flights, and so you blend in. I had a little laptop, fucked around on, and the best thing is, so I slept at the airport basically, and I did this shit every fucking day for like, I don't know, about 4 or 5 months. Never got caught. The trick was at Sky Harbor, they had 4 terminals, and you could go to a different one every night, and they had like a free little shuttle, airport shuttle, just take you from terminal, ran 24/7, every 15 minutes, and so that was it, man. Just, it was boring as fuck, and that goddamn fucking security announcement, about containers and all that shit. Oh my God, like it drove me crazy after a while. After a while, I was almost willing to sleep outside because I got so sick of that fucking announcements, because it was the same announcements in the loop. Either way, best of all, they had a shower there, and it was like a family shower, for like families, right? But it had a fucking shower in the bathroom, the family bathroom, and it's only in this one terminal, and in the daytime they seemed to lock it, but at night it was open, and I don't know if they opened it because they just cleaned it or whatever it was, I don't know, but I know I could go in there and try not to be seen, but just jet in there real quick. Don't fuck around, don't sit in there and shave and fucking, don't take 20 fucking minutes, like in and out, man, bam, bam. I mastered the art of being able to shower, dress, dry in like under 5 minutes, bam, 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 and I was out, and that was it. And I just showered, whenever I needed it. And yeah, I mean, eventually, how that ended up, how I got off the street was, thankfully, my younger brother, he knew kind of what trouble I was in, and he knew kind of where I was at. Thankfully, he came and got me and pulled me out of that city, Phoenix, and went to Tucson, which was helped me get, my shit back together. But yeah, that's pretty much how I survived homelessness. Is just, I was resourceful, man. I mean, I figured out how to take your food stamps, right, and how to turn those into cash, not by selling them for half price, but like actually, if you got $200 in food stamps, I could turn that into $200 in cash. It may take some time, but if you really needed it, you could. So, little hustles like that, little scams, scam stores, like buy shit here, change tags, change receipts. I never really just like went into a store and just stole shit. It was more like, it was stealing, but it was more like fraudulent shit, like changing tags and shit, and then using receipts that I found over here on the ground, get this shit with this credit, store credit, and turn it with this receipt for cash. All kinds of like tweaker hustles, man. I mean, that's what it came down to. It was like, because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you could do this, right? But it takes you all fucking day to do it, right? When if you just had a job and went to work, you can make 3 times that amount in the amount of times it's going to take you to hustle this fucking little, 30, 40 bucks, right? And then you're going to go and take that 30, 40 bucks and you're going to spend it on fucking dope anyway. It's a cycle. But it was the weirdest thing, because when I was high, it was like I was in a different reality, and like that's all I cared about. Like I didn't really, and I was okay with that for a long time. That's what's weird, is you think you'd be like not okay with it, right? but it was weird, and I had never really been homeless before, and so, but the uneasiness of not having a place to go and not having anything, like it's hard to let go of your possessions. When you don't have anything though, it's easy to be humble when you ain't got shit to lose, right? But when you don't have anything, it's a strange thing. It's a strange thing. It's kind of liberating in a sense, because it was nice, like, not to have to worry about this or worry about that, or where am I going to put this car, or where am I going to, no. So, but at the same time, it's like, I look back on it, as soon as I got sober, I was like, and not even like, it didn't even take me that long. We're talking like within a matter of a couple of weeks. I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? How did that fucking happen? And it was the weirdest thing. That's all I could say is like, when you're high, especially on meth, not so much cocaine, but especially on meth, it was like your thought process was just so I had tunnel vision, right? Tunnel vision. When you're in meth, being like an instant antidepressant, and also it's a serious reality, binge reality for you. Not usually in a good way either, but it was easy to like coast and like with this tunnel vision, and just like not worry about my world falling apart, not worry about the dangers that I put myself in, not worrying about ruining my life. But it was the weirdest thing, and so I kind of have a sympathy for when I see a lot of people, homeless people out here on the streets. It's like, I talk to a lot of them, and and 95% of them are out here that have drug problems. That's the reason, the common denominator. That's why they're on the streets, because they can't control the drug habit, and they lost everything, and now they're on the streets, and they can't. It's drugs. 95% of them. You have a 5% of them. When I say drugs, I also mean alcohol. But nowadays, I don't see a lot of drunk homeless people. Like, at least not in San Diego. I mean, I see them, but not as, for every one drunk homeless guy, for every one wino, there's fucking 20 meth heads. 20. Like, so it's like you don't even notice that wino anymore. But yeah, it's just, it's sad, but I can kind of relate. It's just like, wow. And and time goes by so fucking fast. It's like, a day goes by, right? Or I'm sorry, a week goes by, it feels like a day, maybe 2 days, right? When you don't sleep, right? When you're up 2-3 days at a time, and then you sleep for a day, up 2-3 days at a time, which is usually how that works. Yeah, it fucks your reality. Your whole sense of time is gone. So like a week will go by and it felt like it was a good day or two. So next thing you know, it's like a month goes by and it felt like maybe a week. And you're just like, what did I do with all my time? That's what they call it, spun, right? Spinning, spun, going in a circle. And that's, people get stuck like that forever. Well, forever as far as their life goes. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. And it's easy to do, and it's not easy to stop once you're at that point. And thankfully for my little brother, he came and pulled me out. Like, because that's what it took. That's what it was going to take, because I wasn't able to get myself out. I was stuck. I was spun, going in this fucking circle. And it took somebody to come along and say, get in the fucking car. Don't make me kick your ass. Get in. I was like, No, it's like, so. But I've had to do that to 2 different people since then. So I can appreciate that. But yeah, that's how I survived homelessness, being by resourceful. Yeah, not sleeping outside, not having to do that, knowing where to shower, not looking homeless was the big thing. Never had to panhandle, never panhandled. I'm too proud to do that. I mean, my life would have to depend on it. I don't even like, if I run out of gas, or my car won't start, I don't even like asking somebody for a jump. I'm not going to ask you for money. But yeah, that's it. I'm starting to ramble. What, about 14 minutes? Holy shit. All right.